team, I hope you're all well. Today, as you can tell from the thumbnail, I'm doing a very exciting video. I had 3 manga that I really wanted to read that I know Gav has absolutely loved and has over the last few months recommended to me. And I ended up telling him about this idea that I wanted to read manga that he's recommended, and he gave me a whole bunch more recommendations. So we're going to be reading manga that Gav has recommended me that I've never read before, and I have 7 in total. The only ones that I didn't have already owned were Monster and also Blood on the Tracks. I'm going to go through all of them in a second. But I have already started reading for this vlog. I am 4 down, 3 to go. And I thought I'd better do the introduction. So you will see me in the same state in probably several minutes time. Letting you know where I'm up to with this vlog. So I wanted to do the introduction. So as I say, Gav has recommended me 7 manga, and I'm intrigued to know of these 7 how many of them I'm going to continue. So the first one that we do have, I am going to tell you what they are in the order that I've read them so far and what I plan on reading for the rest of the series. So we do have Blood on the Tracks Volume 1 by Shuzo Oshimi. This one is following this woman and her son, who is called Seichi, and his mum really loves him, but there's something not quite right about her. He's got a crush on a girl called Fukishi at school, but something happens one summer and it all goes a little bit wrong. So I want to say I'm looking forward to reading this. I've already read it. I'm not going to give you any more information other than that. Then we do have Spy X Family Volume 1, which is following this guy called Twilight, who is a spy, and for his latest mission, he has to infiltrate this school academy thing. So he needs a wife and a child. So the wife he ends up with is actually an assassin. He doesn't know that. She doesn't know he's a spy. The child he ends up with is a telepath, and she knows about both of them, but they don't know about her. And it's very Mission Impossible-esque. In my review that I've already done, I've compared it to Mission Impossible, Jason Bourne, and a little bit of Kill Bill as well. So there is that one. Then we do have Monster Volume 1, who is following this guy, who is called Kenzo. He is a doctor, and some murders start happening in his area, and also elsewhere in Germany as well. He has moved from Japan to Germany to do his work, and some strange goings on start happening, and he becomes obsessed with finding the murderer. So there is that one. Then we do have Blue Flag Volume 1 by Kato. This one is following Taichi, Futaba, and Toma. Taichi and Toma were friends as kids, and then things kind of changed as they got into high school. Toma is very much so like the jock of school, but not in an asshole way. He, you know, plays sports, he's very popular, the girls want to be with him, etc, etc. And then we have Futaba, who is interested in Toma, and she asks the help of Taichi to see if he will help her get involved with Toma, and it all becomes a little bit of a love triangle, and it's very interesting. So there is that one. Then we do have Given Volume 1. Gav has described this as Heartstopper, but I think potentially a bit older, and it's following these 4 guys who are in a band, and I think they're all queer, and I don't know who's getting involved with who, but I'm really intrigued by this one. Then we've got Dick Fight Island. I actually know nothing about this. I assume, okay, it says the tournament to choose the next king of the island is about to begin. The rules are simple. Whoever comes first loses. Participating warriors protect their mighty swords with armour that grows larger and more elaborate with each tournament. But one warrior has returned from studying abroad with a technique certain to force a pleasurable eruption. Is there a competitor alive able to withstand it, or is this deft warrior destined to become king? Obviously this was going to be on here. And then the final one, which again is another obviously this was going to be on here, is One Piece. This is Gavin's favourite, as far as I'm aware, Gavin's favourite manga to date. He is making his way through all of these series so far, and I'm aware that this, if I get involved with this, Gavin, I will never forgive you. This series is fucking huge. There are different, this is the East Blue series, and I think this is where you start, but there are different series within the One Piece series. So this is the omnibus of volumes 1, 2 and 3. I have said to Gav that if I do get heavy on this, that I am just going to come up to his and read his, because he has a library and I should make use of it. I don't have the room for all of these volumes of One Piece. So yeah, I have this one. I know nothing about this. I assume it's like pirates and stuff. As a child, Monkey D. Luffy dreamed of becoming king of the pirates. But his life changed when he accidentally ate the gum gum fruit, an enchanted devil fruit that gave him the ability to stretch like rubber. I did not see that coming. Its only drawback, he'll never be able to swim again, a serious handicap for an aspiring sea dog. No shit. Years later, Luffy sets off on his quest to find the One Piece set to be the greatest treasure in the world. The treasure trove of high seas adventures just got bigger with this collection of the first 3 volumes of One Piece. Okay, interesting. I did not know that that was the plot of this series. So, fascinating. So yeah, that is what I'm going to be reading for this vlog. I am excited. I am intrigued to see what will stay, what I will continue with, and I will do a ranking system at the end of this vlog. So keep your eyes peeled, and without further ado, past me is going to get into Blood on the Tracks. Okay, hey, this is quite the angle, I do apologise. I'm in proper meh, kind of low-key struggling mode right now. And I have come to this vlog to give myself a break from the vlog that I am the other vlog I'm currently filming, because I feel like breaking up what I'm currently filming with some manga is really going to do me some good, and I'm very excited. I've been really excited about this project for a while. I spoke to Gav about it originally back in June, and I'm really hyped about it. So the first one that I'm going to pick out of the pile is going to be Blood on the Tracks Volume 1. I've seen a lot of people reading this recently. I know absolutely nothing about this, so I thought we could come on and read the synopsis together before I dive into it so we can see what it's about. So, Seishi's mother loves him very much, and his days pass with placid regularity. School, friends, even the attention of his attractive classmate Fukishi. Until one terrible summer day, all that changes. That tells me absolutely nothing. I am intrigued though. The current vlog that I am filming is a romance vlog, so I thought that I would start off with one of the horror mangas that Gav has given me as a recommendation, just to break things up a little bit. I think that's what's wrong with me. I am binging a series, so I need to break it up a little bit with a different genre. So rather than going in with like one of the more anticipated ones that I've got, like Given or Blue Flag, I thought that I would start off with one of the horror ones, and I'm really looking forward to it. So let's see how uncomfortable. I don't read a lot of horror manga, I've got to be honest. I think the ones that I have read most are probably Junji Ito's. I've read a couple from them, but it's the spirals and stuff, they really bother me. I can't read too many of them. The spirals really affect me. I do have like Tokyo Ghoul, I've got Death Note, etc., and I do really enjoy those, so I am intrigued by this one, and as we all know, I am getting more into my horror, so I'm looking forward to this one. So I'm going to give this one a read, and I will come back to you and give you an update on it. Okay, hello. I'm all over the place with my vlogs right now and I entirely forgot. I have not updated you for a hot minute with this vlog. So, I did read Blood on the Tracks Volume 1. This one by Shuzo Oshimi. This was really, really weird. So followed Seichi and his mother. It's just the two of them and they have a very bizarre relationship. His mum is very weird and he's a kid of that age where, you know, your mum starts trying to give you cuddles and trying to give you kisses like she always has all your life, but you're at that age now where it's kind of embarrassing and you don't want to do it anymore. He's at that age now and he has a crush on a girl at school called Fukishi and she starts paying him some attention, but he goes on a family trip and something happens at the end of this family trip, at which point this ends. And it's quite shocking and this was really, really bizarre. Almost nothing happened in this. I don't know what to tell you. Like almost nothing happened in it, but it's setting the series right up. I ended up giving it 3 stars, but I am intrigued to know what the hell is going on with his mum because there's something not quite right with her and I am intrigued to find out what it is that's going on with her. So I do think I will continue on with this series, but yeah, almost, I don't know, it was really weird. I was like, nothing is happening, but also at the very end everything happened and I was like, what the fuck? Like, how do I possibly not have the next volume of this? So I ended up giving it 3 stars. That is the first one for this video done, and then I did pick up Spy X Family Volume 1. Now this one is giving me Mission Impossible meets Jason Bourne meets like Kill Bill meets John Wick. Maybe not John Wick, but definitely Mission Impossible vibes. So we're following this spy called Twilight who gets a new mission, and I think his new target has a child at this very prestigious school or something. And in order for him to complete this mission, he's going to need a wife and a child that will attend this school, and then he's got access. I think that's what's going on. But he doesn't have a wife and a child. He is a spy. He lives quite a lonely life in which he just works all the time. So he manages to find a child. I did wonder how that was going to work, but I don't know why I made it so complicated in my head. He manages to find a child who is quite adorable actually. However, she is telepathic and she now knows that he is a spy and she thinks she's in like a spy movie. He doesn't know she's telepathic, and then he finds a wife who is an assassin. So the child knows that Twilight is a spy and that her mama is an assassin, but Twilight and mama don't know that the other is a spy and an assassin. And so far I'm having a blast. I'm really enjoying this. I'm having a really good time with it. I've just gotten to the point. I'm on mission 3 now. So mission 1 was for him to get a child. Mission 2 was for him to get a wife. And now I'm on mission 3, which I think is to get the girl into the school. So he's kind of told the woman that he needs her assistance with this for the interview for the school. But they end up getting into a bit of a to-do with some people to do with him, another side mission that he was given on top of this mission, and she helps him out with it. He doesn't obviously still doesn't know the full ins and outs of who she is and what she does. He just assumed it was a fluke, I think, and she's now asked whether or not they can like extend their agreement. He was being like a fake husband for her for a works due. She was being a fake wife for him to get his daughter into this prestigious school, because both parents need to be at the interview, which I think, you know, I don't know why he couldn't just go and tell them that her mum had died, but okay. But yeah, so that is where we're at with this, and so far I'm really enjoying it and I'm looking forward to continuing on with it. I think it's really, really funny. It took me a hot minute to get used to the fact that she was saying stuff in her head that she would find out from these other characters from Twilight and her mama. She was saying, repeating stuff in her head, not out loud. It took me a hot minute to figure that out, because I was like, she said that out loud, why has nobody reacted to that? But she said it in her head. It's just that we're seeing it on paper. So, but yeah, so far I'm really enjoying this. So I'm going to go up and finish this off, and then I will pick another manga up and I will let you know my full thoughts on this and what I'm deciding to pick up next. Okay, I am in bed, but I thought I'd better come on and probably give you an update on this. So I have finished it and I really enjoyed this. I had a very good time with it. Haven't run it through Core Pile yet, but I reckon it's going to get 4-star, 4.5 I gave half stars, but we'll see. This ended really very much so on a cliffhanger, but I did really enjoy it. I can't really add too much more to the story than what I've already told you, but I'm definitely wanting to continue on with this one, and probably pretty urgently as well, because I did really enjoy it. So I'm going to try and get my hands on a few more volumes of this, I think. I don't know how many volumes there are in this series, but I'm intrigued to know. I bet it's going to be one of them really long series. I just put money on it. But yeah, really enjoyed this one. Once I've run it through Core Pile, I'll give you all my ratings at the end of the video, and probably rank them as well, actually. But I did then move on to Monster Volume 1. This one, I actually don't know anything about it. So I've gone into it literally knowing nothing, and it's not what I was expecting. I thought this was going to be about a monster. Now I'm assuming that as we get through, because it is a chunky manga, as we get through it, it will be about a monster, but it starts off pretty mundane. On the back it says, everyone faces uncertainty at some point in their lives. Even a brilliant surgeon like Kenzo Tenma is no exception, but there's no way for him to know that his decision to stop chasing professional success and instead concentrate on his oath to save people's lives will result in the birth of an abomination. The questions of good and evil now take on a terrifying real dimension. Years later, in Germany, during the tumultuous post-reunification period, middle-aged childless couples are being killed one after another. The serial killer's identity is known. The reason why he kills are not. Dr. Tenma sets out on a journey to find the killer's twin sister, who may hold some clues to solving the enigma of the monster. So far we are following Kenzo, who at the beginning of this book is in surgery and he saves the life of a patient, but to the detriment of another patient. It turns out that he is dating the guy that's going for the presidency of surgery or something. He's a pretty important guy high up in the hospital anyway. He is engaged to his daughter, Ava, and he's being manipulated by this man. So he was dragged off of the initial surgery that came in first to do this high profile surgery of an opera singer, and the other person died. So it's only a little bit later on that he finds that out. And then this guy tries it again with another surgery, and Dr. Tenma basically says, absolutely not. This, you know, I was put on this surgery first. I'm going to be doing this one. It's just as important. And the other surgery that he didn't do, which was the mayor, he then dies. So he's now being treated worse than a lackey, and Ava has decided to no longer marry him, and she's dating someone else at the hospital that's become high profile now. And yeah, that's where I'm up to so far with Dr. Tenma. So I'm intrigued to see where this is going to go, whether or not he will continue to be a doctor, or whether it just means that, you know, he kind of finds himself, I don't know, doing other stuff. I'm not sure, but I'm currently here in the book. So I wasn't expecting this at all. I wasn't expecting like the doctor side of things. I hadn't read the synopsis of this. I bought this specifically for this video. This one, and where has it gone now? Oh, I've put it back over there. Blood on the Tracks were the only two that I bought for this video. The rest I already owned, so I didn't know anything about either of them, and I am intrigued to see where this is going to go. The other thing I'm intrigued about is that every now and then we do actually get some colour art in here. I've noticed that it happens a little bit later on in the manga again as well, towards the end. So that's intriguing. But yeah, we'll see whether or not I am adding another series to my shelves. So far, 2 down and 2 yeses that I want to continue on with. So, Gav, what are you doing to me? We'll have to see. But yeah, I'm going to continue on with this for a little bit longer. I don't know whether or not I'll finish it tonight, but if I do, I will update you in the morning. But so far, it's intriguing. Just not what I expected in the slightest. So I'm going to go and I'll check back in with you in the morning. Okay, the next few clips of this vlog, I've just done the intro. The next few clips of this vlog, I will be in the same clothes, potentially the same spot, but I did some binging last night of these manga, and I want to continue that into this evening. Potentially finish this vlog, but probably not, we'll see. So last night I was up to Monster Volume 1, and I had not long since started it. I was like part way through it. I have now finished this. This was good. I am so intrigued to continue on with this series. So as I was mentioning, we're following Kenzo, who is a doctor, which I wasn't anticipating at all. I just assumed that this would be like fully about monsters, and it wasn't 100% about that. So we're following him. A string of murders have been going on of childless couples, and it gets to a point where he's trying to find out what is going on, because it's tied to a case that he had in previous years as a doctor. The monster in question has a twin sister, and she is also someone that Kenzo is trying to find as well. So I'm really intrigued to continue on with this. I had a really good time with it. I thought it was very fascinating. I thought, albeit the beginning was a little bit slow paced and I didn't know what the hell was going on, but obviously that's the point. The cliffhanger at the end was really good, and I would like to get my hands on Monster Volume 2 very soon. I did nip to Waterstones this afternoon, but they didn't have it. They had Monster Volume 4, which is, you know, of no use to me right now. It would be in the future, but not right now. So I do want to continue on with this series. So right now this vlog is going really well. All I'm doing is adding more manga to my TBR. Thanks, Gav. So yeah, I really liked this one. 4 stars for this one. Had a great time with it. And I then went on to Blue Flag Volume 1. So obviously I didn't do like an intro to this, and I'm just telling you now what my review is. But this is basically following Taichi, Futaba, and also Toma. So Taichi is our main character. They've just got to high school and they're finding out their classes now. Now, he's not in the class that he is in with the people that he kind of associates. He doesn't deem them best friends or anything. They're just people he associates with. When he was younger, he was very close with Toma, who is deemed like the jock of the school. He isn't like an asshole or anything. It's just that he plays baseball I think I said football in the intro of this video because I've just filmed it, but he plays baseball. You know, he's the sports captain, he's the boy all the girls love and fawn over, he's very popular, etc, etc. These two used to be really, really close, and Toma keeps trying to chat with Taichi and he can't figure out what's going on or what the reason behind it is. Then we have Futaba, who has a crush on Toma and asks for Taichi's help in chatting with Toma. She's very nervous, she's quite an anxious girl, and she asks for Taichi's help. Now what happens here is a little bit of a love triangle. But on the back of here, it does say, love is already hard enough, but when it becomes an unnavigable maze for unassuming high school student Taichi Ichino's and his shy classmate Futaba Ku's, when they begin to fall for each other after their same-sex best friends have already fallen for them. Can you see where this is going? I really enjoyed this. I'm not gonna lie though, what happened was I picked this up knowing exactly what it was, but my brain had the story of Gavin going on, and I was like, oh, where are the band members? Like, when does the, you know, the queerness kick in? The queerness is obviously in here, but I got myself confused, and it was only once I was like maybe this far in that I suddenly remembered I wasn't reading Gavin, I was reading Blue Flag. I really liked this. I had a really good time with it. I think that the way it's going is really well done. It's interesting because we don't get a lot of time with Futaba's best friend. It's only towards the end of this volume that we actually see some more of her. But I think the dynamic is very interesting. So obviously she's asking him for help to date him, but it turns out that these two end up starting a friendship, means that they start really liking each other. But it turns out that he is into him and her best friend is into her. And I am so intrigued to see where this is going to go. So I'm definitely going to continue on with this series also. Gav, what are you doing? So yeah, really enjoyed this one. Also gave this 4 stars. These are all going really, really well. I'm yet to find a 5-star one. I think my closest one yet though is probably Spy X Family. So next, I've decided to leave the most anticipated 3 till last. These are my most anticipated 3. Just on the basis that this is going to be fucking stupid, and I know full well it is. This is one of Gav's, if not Gav's all-time favourite manga. And then this one I know he has really, really loved and compared it to Heartstopper. So I wanted to save these 3. Not only that, but these 3 are the ones that gave me the idea for this video. So I initially was just going to read these 3 books for this video, but once I mentioned it to Gav and told him what I was planning on reading, he then gave me the other book recommendations, manga recommendations as well. So we ended up with 7 instead of just 3, which is great. And I'm having a fabulous time. So I think the order that I'm going to read these in is Given, Dick Fight Island, and then One Piece. I'm saving One Piece till last because it just makes sense, you know? So next we go into Given Volume 1. So this is following 4 bandmates in a band called Given. We have hot-headed guitarist Yunoyama. I apologise about pronunciations here. Playboy drummer Akihiko. Gentle bassist Haruki, and Mafuyu, a singer gifted with great talent and burdened by his past tragedy. Their struggles and conflicts may drive them apart, but their bond to music and to one another always brings them back together again. Ritsuka Yunoyama is bored with it all, with school, with his basketball club, and even with his true passion, playing guitar. That is, until the day he finds his favourite hidden napping spot occupied by a strange boy cradling a broken string guitar. At first, Ritsuka is nonplussed by Mafuyu Sato and his slightly odd behaviour, but when on a whim he asks Mafuyu to sing, the power of that song pierces him to the core. I believe that this, again, I've just mentioned it, but Gav did say that this is a little bit like Heartstopper, but a band, and I think they're older. So also there's 4 of them. So I'm really intrigued by this one. I'm like 100% certain that it's queer, and I'm very much so looking forward to it. So I'm going to give this a read and I will come back and give you an update as soon as I have one for you. Hello. Okay. I have now finished Gavin Volume 1. I've not yet run this through Corpile and I need to do so. But this was good. I liked it. I don't know if I liked it as much as Gav did though, unfortunately. Sorry, Gav. I'm intrigued enough to continue, but I feel like this was probably just like setting up the story. So I am intrigued enough to continue and I will do so. But whether or not it hit the 4-star mark, I don't know. But I did like it. I thought it was good. I'm intrigued by the band. I'm intrigued by the characters and the relationships that are building here between these four. I think Risuka and Mafuyu, these two at the front, are adorable. I really enjoy their characters. These two at the back are really hot and I am into them, I'm not gonna lie, the older two. So Akihiko, who does the drums, he's 20. Haruki, who is the bass, he's 22, and then these two are 16 and they're at school. So yeah, I thought it was good. I had a good time with it. There is like, you know, in Heartstopper again with the comparison to that, you know, like Tori constantly jumps in, Charlie's sister, she's like always in the background and stuff. Risuka's sister is in this as well, again constantly kind of just like popping up and stuff. But yeah, I thought it was good. 'Twas good. So I have now moved on to Dick Fight Island. This, fucking hell Gav, this is a ride. I am here so far, I don't know what page number that is. I don't think there's any page numbers in here. This is a fucking ride. There are many different clans, I can't remember how many clans, but there are many different clans, and these clans basically fight every 4 years. They choose someone, a male to fight every 4 years to become the king of these islands. And the way that these guys fight is they are pitted against each other in a one-on-one to see who can make the other one come first, and then they're the loser. And the one that doesn't goes forward, I think, to continue. You know, like you start off with this many, 2, 2, 2, and then they go down and the 2 from that, you know, like that, a tournament. I don't know why I needed to explain that. I think I'm just feeling a little bit out of my depth and awkward about this book. So this is quite graphic. And I'm unsure what to say about it. They have like these things on their penises, and I think the longer that you have been fighting, the bigger this is, and this kind of protects, it's the armor, that's what it's called, their armor. It kind of protects them, and the idea is that you're supposed to get their armor off them and then, you know, do the deed. So this is very, very interesting, and we're following one of the main characters that we are following. We're following them all really, but the main guy that we're following is called Yuda. Yes, Yuda. No. Hato, the member of the Jewel clan. The Jewel clan is the biggest clan out of all of them, and it's the only one that has dealings with the mainlands. And Hato has actually been travelling for the last year and has learned a few things off the outsiders that he can use in his tournament to fight, to win, to become king, etc. So, very bizarre, quite the concept. I am going to carry on with this and try and finish it this evening before I go up to bed. It's not too late, I don't think. It is 10 to 10. Oh, it's cowboy time. So I'm going to continue on with this and try and finish this, and then I may go up to bed and start One Piece. We'll see. But I probably won't update you now till tomorrow because obviously the lighting's a bit shit. And my camera battery is dying. So, yeah. Let's go. I'm here to give you an update on my reading. So I did read Dick Fight Island, Volume 1. That's upside down. I did read Dick Fight Island, Volume 1. And this was a wild ride, honestly. I can't even explain this book with a straight face. I'm not joking. I explained this to my brother the other day. I was like, oh dude, I read this manga the other day and this is what happens. And he was like, what the fuck? He thought it was literally just like dick fighting until I was like, yeah, the first to come loses. And he was like, wait, what? I don't know what to tell you other than we're having no judgment here. This is no judgment zone. I don't know what to tell you other than the fact that I gave this 5 stars. This was fantastic. Listen, it was fucking wild. The story is very bizarre, but it's also kind of heartwarming, and I kind of really enjoyed where it went. So, you know, aside from the dick fighting, which was humorous to say the least. So I just thought it was really, really good, and I had a good time with it, and I really do want to read Volume 2. How I acquire Volume 2 is another story. I can't remember how I acquired this, I'm not gonna lie. I think it was maybe from Forbidden Planet or Traveling Man, but hopefully they gave me no judgments. So 5 stars. This is my first and only so far 5-star read for this entire vlog, which is shocking to me, to say the least. So yeah. Gavin, my dude, I love you. I have no words. 5 stars. Anywho, I then went on to start One Piece. Which I'm really excited to be reading because this is Gav's favourite and I'm so hyped. It's not often I read books about pirates because I do get very severe seasickness. You know how you can get secondhand embarrassment when reading a book, or you know, you're with a friend and they're being shouted at or whatever. I get secondhand seasickness. Whether or not that's a thing, I don't know, but it's happened to me a couple of times now. So I don't tend to read very many pirate-esque books, but I have started this one. I am still on Volume 1. I'm only 70 pages in. I've been dipping in and out very, very briefly over the weekend. So I'm hoping at some point over the next couple of days I'll be able to sit down and try and smash my way through this. I'm so glad I've said that about this and not Dick Fight Island, because that would have been weird. But yeah, this is following Monkey, aka Lufty. Is Monkey D. Luffy. Luffy, sorry, not Lufty, there's no T, Luffy. And he dreams of becoming king of the pirates, but his life changes when he accidentally ate the gum gum fruit, an enchanted devil fruit that gave him the ability to stretch like rubber. This does mean that he cannot swim. And if you cannot swim, you can't really become a pirate, because, you know, if you go overboard, you've got to be able to swim. So his dream of becoming a pirate has kind of gone to the dogs, but he plows on and pursues anyway. We've already had a little bit of a time jump. and I'm intrigued to find out more. I'm having a good time with it so far. So I am going to continue on with this, and I will update you. Maybe when I've finished each part, I'll update you, and then obviously update you at the end. So I'm going to continue on with this. This is very low, but we're sat on my laptop on my coffee table on 2 books, and I kind of monster. Because we're professionals over here, guys. Okay, apologies for the din. I'm having a chimney taken out and another chimney replaced. So that's going to be going on all day. But I'm here to update you on One Piece. So I did get to the end of the first volume. I am really cutting it down to the wire here. It is currently Tuesday. This video is going up on Sunday, so I've got to sort myself out. It's final book support group week. My intention was to have this completely finished and the video edited and uploaded and scheduled, ready to go by the time final book support group came around, but that hasn't worked out. So I've been dragging my heels with this, and I'm not sure why. I cannot believe I've got to put up with that all day. So this book follows Luffy. I can't remember if I've given you this lowdown. I don't even know what my last clip was. But this book follows Luffy, Monkey D. Luffy he's called. And he wants to be a pirate. However, he ate the forbidden gum gum fruit, which has basically given him... he's like Stretch Armstrong now, but his whole body, he's made out of rubber. So he can't swim, which would make being a pirate very, very difficult. However, he's realised that this gives him another type of power in that it makes him very strong. It's a struggle to kill him. And he's now, in the first volume, he finds himself, some years have passed, he's gotten older, and he's found himself going off on this adventure to try and get himself a ship and a crew. He's met a couple of friends now who are, by the looks of things, now part of his crew, and I am trying to remember the names of them. We've got Roronoa Zolo. I'm just going to call him Zolo because I really struggled to come up with to pronounce Roronoa Zolo without tripping over my own words. So just Zolo, and then we also have Kobe. So Kobe's a young boy that was on this ship with this really mean woman, female pirate. She was an absolute cow, and I did not like her. And Luffy ended up managing to rescue him from that ship. Kobe wanted to join the Navy, but the Navy's not all it's cracked up to be in this book. And then Zolo was actually deemed a criminal by the Navy. He was imprisoned, but it turns out he's not the person that the Navy made him out to be. So yeah, he has Zolo and he has Kobe so far. And right at the end of volume 1, we also met up with this woman as well, whose name, again, do not remember. I have no idea who she is. But she's asking him if he wants to team up. She robs pirates. So that's going to go well. Oh, also Zolo is a pirate hunter. So this cruise so far is going really, really well. But I'm intrigued to see where we go from here. He wants to be the king of the pirates, which means finding this treasure that there are lots of tales about, etc. And I am intrigued to see where this is going to go. I don't know what's going to happen to me when I get to the end of volume 3 of this, because if I want to read more, I am not purchasing all of these. I've told Gavin that if I get to a point where I want to read more, I'm just going to have to come up to his and read them at his instead. Because there's like a bazillion volumes of this with loads of spin-off stories as well. So yeah, so far enjoying it. I don't know how to rate this, whether to rate volume by volume or whether to rate omnibus by omnibus. So I'm going to check with Gav. We've got final book support groups happening in 25 minutes. I'm going to check with Gav while I'm on with him to see what he says. But yeah, so far I've read the first volume. I think I'm actually going to try and knuckle down and finish this today. I should be focusing on final book support group books, but it's a continuation station now that I'm in it. It's a continuation station for volumes 2 and 3 because this is the omnibus. I know it's only one book, but in my eyes it's a continuation station. So I'm gonna go continue to listen to that for the next 25 minutes till sprints start, and then I will check back in with you probably at the end of volume 2, let you know anything I can let you know without spoiling it too much, and what Gav suggested as far as ratings concerned, and I will speak to you then. Hello, I am back. It's only been 2 hours since we started sprints and I've managed to read volume 2. I'm really happy. I've got 38 minutes left of this sprint, so I'm hoping to get halfway through volume 3 as well. In volume 2, Luffy came across Nami is the name of the girl I was chatting about with volume 1, but Luffy came across Nami, and he ended up coming across her in this isolated town. No one really lives there anymore, but this group of pirates, who is run by Captain Buggy, who is a clown, which I wasn't anticipating. I should have done, because there's a clown on the front of the cover. Captain Buggy is a clown. He's also had some of the devil's fruit, and he can kind of be split into several pieces, so he can send his arm off to go and do something and be split into several pieces. So he has taken over this town, and all of the people that live in this town are kind of hiding away somewhere else, and Nami has stolen a map from him. So she has then tried to trade Luffy in for to infiltrate Buggy's crew and hopefully steal all of his treasure. And it doesn't quite go that way, and there's lots of fighting, and now we're at the end and Buggy is livid because Luffy and Zolo have been defeating his crew, and he is trying to figure out what the frig is going on. So yeah, it was a good volume. I gave the first one 4 stars. I've run it through Corpile, and I'm probably going to give the second one 4 stars as well. I enjoyed it, so I am intrigued to continue on and read volume 3, and then that will be the end of this video. I know I have ended up reading more volumes of this one, but it's cheap. It's not cheaper, but in the long run it will be cheaper to buy the omnibuses rather than the individual volumes. But like I say, chances are I'll probably continue reading this at Gav's at some point because I'm not purchasing all of these volumes because that's just crazy. Apparently you can read it online though, Gav was just telling me, which is intriguing news. So yeah, I'm going to continue on to volume 3. What is this one called? Don't Get Fooled Again, it's called. So I'm excited to carry on, and I will check back in with you when I finish that and get this vlog finally wrapped up. Okay, so now I am here to wrap you up with the rest of One Piece. So I did finish volume 3. I actually really enjoyed that volume more than the first 2, and I think we ended up on a massive cliffhanger. I said to Gav, like, what am I supposed to do now? I don't have volume 4, so I'm gonna have to see if I can actually try and get the next omnibus just to keep me going until I do get a chance to go up to Gav's and read the rest at his. Well, not all of them, but read some more at his. But yeah, because volume 3 does leave you on quite the cliffhanger. So I did enjoy this one. In the last volume, which was called Don't Get Fooled Again, we continue on with Buggy the Clown for a little bit, but then we move on to Luffy moving on with Zolo, and also Neem as well. It turns out that I completely forgot actually when updating you on this, but it turns out that the young boy who I was going on about earlier actually stays in the first volume. So he stays with the Navy because they sort their shit out in the first volume. So he actually sticks around. Kobe, I've remembered his name. Kobe actually sticks around. So then we continue to follow these guys on with trying to find a new ship so that they can continue on with their mission to try and get this gold. And I had a really good time with it. I thought the intrigue was much higher in this one, and I was really getting into the story and reading it much more fast-paced at this point. So I had a really good time with this one, and yeah, we'll be continuing on with this one as well. So all 3 volumes in here got 4 stars. I knew there was a 4 in there somewhere. They all got 4 stars, with the last one just getting an ever so slightly higher rating on Corpile. So I have written these down in my phone so I can give you my ranking. So at the bottom with 3 stars we do have Blood on the Tracks Volume 1. I do still want to continue with this one, but on Corpile it did get 6.86. Then we do have Given Volume 1 with 4 stars. On Corpile this did get a 7.14. Then we have One Piece Volumes 1 and 2 did get 7.14, and Volume 3 got 7.29. So 4 stars overall for that. Then we do have a Monster with 4 stars. That got a 7.86 on Corpile. Then we have Blue Flag with 4.5 stars. This one did get 8.57. Then we've got Spy X Family with 4.5 stars. This one did get 8.71. And last but not least, we've got the 5-star from Dick Fight Island. This got 9 on the nose. So that is my ranking of Gav's recommendations. I want to continue on with all of these series. So good job, Gav. Thank you for that. Because I know some of these series are very, very large and continuing as well. So yeah, but I had a fantastic time reading these. Thank you to Gavin for the recommendations. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. It is a little bit wild and all over the place because it took me some time to put together. But I do hope you enjoyed it. And let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these. Let me know if you'd want to see me do something similar to this again. If you've got any recommendations, again, let me know. And I shall see you in the next video. Bye for now.